Hello again. Welcome to Ematsemba. Um, my dear friends, family, and if it's the first time today to join us, we are a program that wants to bring back hope to those that have lost their loved ones, to those that have lost their selves, to those that have no idea of psychological issues, to those that are struggling psychologically and are undiagnosed, untreated. So my name is Ematsemba, and I am a clinical psychologist. I have been practicing in private practice for the past 17 years. So as things are not going well these days, I feel the urge of psychoeducating. This is season 2 of Ematsemba. Season 1 was wonderful. We're trying to psychoeducate the nation on things that are going on and how they can get help, because we've been having a number of suicidal cases, crimes of passion, frustrations, and arson, brutal behavior. And not because these people are like that, but just because they are frustrated. So I took it upon myself to extend Ematsemba, and I think it's 3 or 4 weeks ago, where I asked you that since we're doing season 2, can you give us a name that we can have? But most of you said, can we continue with Ematsemba, because we do get hope from these messages. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a topic that we all know about, but don't really know about. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you know, but you don't really know. If you can be asked to explain what exactly are you talking about, you wouldn't really know. So today I'm going to be talking about family. Family. In the olden days, I don't know whether in the olden days or in the Western or wherever, a family was just the mother, the father, and the children, and that was it. Even here in Africa, as a Liswati, when you get married, they tell you that okay, now because you're now married, forget about your family where you come from and you stick to your husband. But family is everything. Being a clinical psychologist, there is a theory from Maslow. I'm sure most of you know about it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where a sense of belonging is very important. We need to belong somewhere. And the first place where most people get a sense of belonging is in the family. I am Mdlalose. My name is Mdlalose. And before I got to get to know my family, Mdlalose didn't mean much to me because I didn't know the Mdlalose. So when people would come and, out of respect, oh, hi, Dr. Mdlalose, hi, Mdlalose, it didn't mean anything to me because I did not know my paternal side. So the surname did not mean much to me. And lo and behold, I've met my family. I've met the Mdlaloses. Oh God, I'm so proud to be Mdlalose. I feel so good to be addressed as Mdlalose when I read, because I write articles in the newspaper when they want my expert commentary, and then they write Mdlalose said. It all of a sudden, it gives me a sense of belonging. I feel like I belong. So a sense of belonging is very important. But where do we start? Where does it start? It starts with family. I'm not sure about other countries, but in my country, from way back, I'm not sure if it's the 80s or 70s or before that, I'm not too sure, we first started having trouble with family issues. Most of our Eswatini families, African families, it's not your typical mother, father, two beautiful children in a nice house, picket fence, like we see it in the movies. Oh Lord, we have different types of families. And these families are not like we chose that we want to have these families, it's circumstances. And just to get to it, the usual family that we know is the unconverted family. It's just mom, dad, kids. That's just an entire family. and especially today I'm going to speak about African type of families. And then we have extended families. We have families where there is gogo, the grandparents, there's aunts, the siblings. Let's say I'm part of the family, I'm the daughter. I have my 5 children, my sister has her 6 children, my brother has 7 children, and we become a huge family. And that's extended family. And for us, we don't take it like, you're not really my blood. They are your brothers, they're your sisters, they're your cousins. We are one huge family. I think if you would know, during holidays, maybe Christmas or long weekends, the borders, the airports are always so busy because people are going to reunite with their families. Because life, especially industrialization, has led us to leave our homes and go and look for work so that we can be able to sustain the family. However, this is no longer going on. We have, sadly, child-headed families. There are children as young as 10 that are responsible for their 3, 4, or 5 siblings. And mainly, it first started from, if you can recall, when HIV started, the father would die from HIV-related diseases, and then the mother would follow because she would be taking care of the husband or whatsoever, and then the children would be left alone. And maybe the granny is too old to take care of the children. There are many people that had to drop out of school to help raise the younger children in order for them to go to school. So we have a number of child-headed families. We will talk about that, its repercussions, as well as its benefits. I don't think there's any benefit besides helping children to be responsible, which is unfair because they are supposed to be children too, but they find themselves being parents way sooner. And the problem with that, with the child-headed families, is that, this little boy or this little lady who now has to drop out and try and fend for the family, finds, maybe because she can't find a job, she's still young, she finds herself being a prostitute just to be able to get money and put food on the table for the younger ones. They find themselves doing crazy things to be able to help the younger siblings to grow up and be something that they can actually benefit and see that the siblings have grown. Besides that, we have other families where grandparent families, where us, we keep on giving birth, and we have to come back to town and leave our children in rural areas for our old gogos and kulus to look after our children. Many homes are headed by the elderly. They too are so frail, my goodness, but they have to work for their children. So it is so sad that these old people cannot enjoy their elderly life because this baby's there. They are struggling. You find an old woman in the market working and selling vegetables in the rain, and you ask, but Coco, why? And she says, I have grandchildren. And as I'm closing up, there's many other families. There's nuclear families, there's single parent families. We'll talk about those every day. There is extended families, we have children families, we have step families, we have blended families, all sorts of families. But we need to make sure that whatever kind of family we find ourselves in, we do it right so that some of the children, some of the people don't feel like they're being left out. Stay tuned. We are going to go on and educate you on how best to embrace this type of families. And after the pandemic, definitely there will be a lot of abnormal, if there's anything like that, families. But please don't lose hope. Let's be a community and let's take care of those that do not have. Stay tuned. We will be displaying some of the issues that happen in the families. Thank you. Oh, before you go, please remember, as we are talking, this is very critical. Remember to share, remember to subscribe on YouTube, Ematsemba. You can DM us on Facebook, Ndoni Ematsemba, as you can see on the screen. You can Instagram us on at lady underscore Ndoniamanzi. Let's chat. This topic actually was suggested by your comments. That is why we are doing it today. All right, stay tuned as we take a break and go on to the next of what kind of families, what can we do with our kind of families. Thank you.